Hi. Um, I am just getting on briefly. I just wanted to basically just kind of give my thoughts on Dead Space. I just finished it a couple days ago, and I've just been thinking about it. So I wanted to go ahead and just make this stream and video. So first of all, I thought it was great. Um, the graphics really really good. Um, thought it there were some areas that I just thought were even like just beautiful to look at. Just like really nice clean graphics. I am streaming this game on I streamed this game on 1080, and the last two games, Resident Evil HD and Resident Evil 2 Remake, I streamed 720. So I'm sure you can adjust it on YouTube. On my TV, they look really nice though. But these graphics were definitely really really good. I thought the mechanics as well were good. Now I should have started with this, but I kind of game a little bit more casually, so I'm not some expert with like any game, honestly. I like survival horror games. I like watching them. I like playing them myself, and but they can be, some of them can be difficult. It wasn't too difficult. I played on the medium difficult level, and I would say for me it was okay. Um, I also get kind of frustrated fairly easily, I suppose. But I mean, maybe I would have just played on easy, since this was also my first time in the Dead Space universe. I never played any of the original games, so I wasn't familiar with everything. Um, but like I said, the mechanics were good. The feel and control was pretty good. I couldn't figure out how to like. I always had to keep going to the map. I never learned how to just like look down on the ground to see like the line. I saw that in a couple other videos, people doing that, and I tried to look it up. I looked in the tutorial page, and I just couldn't figure that out. But that's probably just on me. I don't know if I missed something, or I don't know. But I go to the map plenty in the other games I've played, so it wasn't really a big deal for me. The story, I want to talk about the story a little bit. There's lots of lore, audio logs, text logs. While I was playing, there were a few times I picked up text logs mid fights, so I didn't read them. I didn't go back to read them. When I'm like in the middle of the fight, it's just like once I complete that, I like forget. I picked them up thinking they were like health or ammo or something. Um, but yeah, there's like a ton of lore. It's not like obviously super original. It's a sci-fi horror, so it's gonna take, you know, there's been so many sci-fi horror movies and shows and other games, but at the same time, it definitely felt like its own thing. And you know, I did get surprised at certain points too. I thought it was gonna go one way, and then it took another way. I was guessing at some things. So I also know there's been a little bit of discourse surrounding this game, but I don't really want to get into it. I think it's stupid, to say the least. Uh, you have to like really go out of your way to see some of the things people were complaining about. In my opinion, I don't know if you can hear, but my cat's making noises. So, oh well. And yeah, I guess I want to get into talk about some stuff that is a little bit spoilery. So if you want to watch or play it yourself, just know that I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. So with the story, I guess my sort of surprises was I it was mainly with Nicole. So at first she seems trustworthy, but then she's weird. And then you're like, she's with the unitologist. She's definitely with the unitologist. And then it just the way she would talk to Isaac and stuff, and then he excuse me, and then she seemed like she was starting to seem like a figment of his imagination, like not there at all. Um, I if that had been the case, like I had thought, um, it kind of wouldn't have made sense in certain spots. So then when it was actually revealed that it was the other doctor, and the marker was just making Isaac see the other doctor as Nicole, and then it made the other doctor see Isaac as I can't think of her name or who she was seeing him as, but it was like her boyfriend or whatever, and or maybe brother. I don't know, boyfriend or brother. I don't know. I just played it and I forgot. So that was an interesting reveal. It was funny playing the game when you'd have Daniel's kind of you get the video calls from her and Hammond. Hammond was definitely sketchy, but I don't know. I can't. I don't know. But Daniels was also kind of making him seem sketchy too, because he was trying to get out of there, and so Daniels. It was funny as I was playing. I was like, man, she's like the smartest character right now. She's not trusting anybody. She's not moving. She's not doing anything crazy. She seemed sane, and then you kind of tell that her head was getting messed with, and then all of a sudden she she like betrays you. Which I didn't really see that coming either, to be honest. But then, it's revealed that she's had been working for EarthGov, I believe, the whole time. So yeah, I mean, it was great. I enjoyed it. I struggled, but there was a lot of it felt good when I, was able to beat certain parts. Some fights took me like half an hour to beat. So if you do want to watch my playthrough, I do have all those videos in a playlist. I also wanted to talk a little bit about like the villains, the unitology. I was expecting to see like more of them. Um, Maybe on the Ishimura or on Aegis 7. I thought we'd get like a scene with them doing some kind of ritual or something, but that never really came about. All that stuff was more in the lore and the logs. But then obviously the necromorphs. There were obviously ones that were easier to fight, ones that were harder, obviously, as the game went on. I thought the ones that came from the Valor, so some of the soldiers on the Valor, when they got infected or whatever, they still had their rigs, so it totally made them like glitchy and fast. And then they had the armor, so they were a little bit harder to beat. But funny enough, the Valor chapter 9 was, I got through that I think without dying once. But it was funny because I was like also on the edge of my seat playing that chapter, The necromorphs that shoot like the acid, the little baby ones, and then like the bigger ones, hated them. Hated them. They were just really annoying. But you're always gonna have, the annoying monsters, I guess, in these survival horror games, and um, but they were also all really cool. You could kind of see the different level of like mutation in each. The guys who were like hanging off the wall, sort of. They weren't on like the wall, but it was like the all the stuff, all the necromorph stuff up against the wall, and they're just like hanging off. They were good. They were good. Little jump scares, and then I found out a little bit later that they could actually hurt you, which I up to that point I never got close enough to them. But then there's the other ones that pop out, and then they have like I guess tendrils or whatever that come out of them, and then they like birth out other little things that are similar to the acid tendril baby things. They're a little different, but they're similar. They only have like one, and but those were annoying. um, but good, There it's good to have that mix. Some in some games it can get a I don't know, a little starts to get a little bit easier when it's kind of the same whether it's like a zombie or whatever it may be. um because you just get a little bit used to it. So there's like a great mix in this game of different necromorphs. And then obviously at the end, well, the uh hive mind at the end, that was that was a heck of a battle for me. That's one of those fights that took me like a half hour to beat. um but it was a lot of fun. These games were a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I think the replayability of this game is pretty high for me personally. I'm not I love getting achievements during the game, but I'm not going to be like an achievement hunter and go back necessarily to earn achievements or go back to beat it on the harder levels per se, or speed run. It's not really my thing, but I could definitely see myself in the future going back and playing on the easiest mode and just trying to run through it that way. Um, yeah, so I think that's it. I thought it was really good. Like I said, I like to love to play it again. Yeah, and I will be playing Resident Evil 3, the remake, next. So actually, once I'm done with this stream slash video, I will be getting that installed, ready to play. Um, I know I was a little shaky. I'm without making a video without also playing is a little. I'm more nerve wracked than I thought I'd be. Um, but if you enjoyed this vid, I I know it wasn't um it's not like some kind of deep dive or anything, just a casual gamer giving you their thoughts. And but yeah, if you enjoyed it, I'll have the playlist of my gameplay of this game, of my playthrough of this game, in the description, as well as I think I'll try to get a little annotation, and that's for YouTube. If you're catching this on Twitch later, um, you'll have to go on my YouTube because those streams have already started getting automatically deleted. Um, but yeah, again, if you could consider and possibly giving me a follow on Twitch or subscribing on YouTube. That would be really cool. Really cool and really rad. And I will continue to be playing survival horror games as well as other games. I'm really excited about some new games coming out this year. Okay. Thank you for watching again, and bye.